What up, what up, what up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Tyler Perry's Ruthless Season 5 premiere and episodes 2 and 3 as well. So this is about to be 3 episodes in one review. I know I'm a day late, but life be lifing. And here we are 2 days after the 3 episodes premiered, and I'm just ready to give my take on it. So if you haven't seen Tyler Perry's Ruthless Season 5, Episodes 1 through 3. Turn this video off. Go watch those episodes and come back and watch this review. Please like the review. Subscribe to my channel. I can't stress enough how much that helps in a major way. It's a simple and free way to help my channel. I'm not a public speaker. I will tend to fumble my words and say and so and like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down and regain my thoughts. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. I'll definitely be looking at my notes as I take over here throughout the show. And I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. And since I'm doing 3 episodes in this review, I'm going to grade them one by one as I go. So we're going to start with episode 1. Season 5 premiere of Ruthless. I'm gonna grade it a B minus. It wasn't too good. It wasn't too bad. It was. We got some new players in the mix, so I guess that's probably why I would give it the B minus. I might change it as I get to the end, but I will leave a timestamp in the comments for episode 2 and episode 3 when I start talking about those, for those who only watched the premiere and haven't watched the other 2 episodes yet. I will leave those timestamps in the comments. And as I talk, I will give a, I will let you know when I'm about to move on to the next episode before I do. So it won't be any spoilers and things like that. So for now, if you haven't seen the season 5 premiere of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, then turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire premiere. And I will, like I said, let you know when I move on to episode 2. So we start with episode 1, which is the premiere of season 5. So we all know what happened last season. George and Lewis and Ruth all had this plan to overthrow the highest and get away with the money. Ruth was supposed to go off to get her daughter. And then we seen everything like going to shit as far as the compound's concerned. Everybody, we seen who was running away and escaping and who was willing to stay behind and fight and whatnot. So we basically picking back up off of that. This first scene of the episode, we was trying to figure out in the season 4 finale who was letting those shots off, who shot the girl Bridget that was with Lewis and George. We was trying to figure all that out. So it turns out it was Daikon. A lot of people said it was Daikon and them, but Daikon only had one gun because George and Lewis took all the weapons from the soldiers. So we thought. So Daikon and Manny and another soldier, they come to the highest rescue. And Daikon ends up shooting Lewis, not killing him, but shoots him. And then Manny and another guard, they take Lewis and George away. And then we see River, Joan, Lacey, and Zane running through the woods. Of course, they looking lost. And Joan's warning them about the booby traps that be in the woods from the Rockadooshies. Ruth finally finds the children. And they driving off in this school bus with this guy who we found out later is like this new player, Obadiah, who's like going to be in charge of the children, who's training the children to be militant and whatnot. So then we go back to Joan, Lacey, Zane, and River. Joan gets caught in a bear trap. And immediately Lacey and Zane are like, well, like, we got to keep moving. And I don't blame them, especially Lacey. Like, Lacey done been through so much. I do not blame her for wanting to just get the fuck when they got the chance. So they leave River and Joan there. They like, fuck that money. Because River was like, well, she don't even want to know the account number. They was like, Lacey was like, I don't even give a fuck. I do not blame them. They trying to get away. I don't blame them. So the highest returns to the compound. And Elder Mother's there with some others greeting them. And the highest ends up leaving Manny in charge of Elder Mother and the women and whatnot. Elder Mother don't really pay that no mind. She slaps the shit out of Manny, and her and the others, they head out into the woods basically to fight with these little weapons that they got. And then back with Joan and River. Joan is, you know, she's losing consciousness from the bear trap, and she's telling River she'll never give up the accountant info and whatnot. So that $2 million to just sit there because she's the only one that has the account information. So then we cut away to the FBI, you know, Desiree and Cal and another agent. They taking fire from who we now know is the cartel, who's there now to find Lilo and find the money that the highest has been taking. And one of those guys is Lilo's brother. So he's like, I'm not leaving without my brother. In the midst of the shootout, Elder Mother and the woman walk up. Elder Mother gets shot in the hand. It just seems so fake because 2 episodes later, we see that where Lewis got shot at, we don't even see it anymore. Elder Mother gets shot in the hand, we don't even see that shit no more. It's just so like, them wounds supposed to still be there. But I digress. So, make me kind of want to give it a C+, because now you think about it, you know? So, the highest and Daikon, they go into the bunker, the punishment trailer where they're holding Lewis and George. And the highest, you know, he's threatening them, you know, their punishment will be severe. And they leave Peter to watch them. And I was surprised to see Peter because, you know, me, I was thinking, and there was other people that was speculating that maybe Peter was hiding out somewhere and watched Ruth put the money in the trunk and then took the money and went and dipped off somewhere. But I guess that's not the case. This nigga came back to the compound and seems more devoted to the Rockadoochies than ever. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what his deal is. It's seeming like he just want to be a part of the Rockadoochies, but maybe he got another thing planned or something. But he seemed like he falling for the cult shit. So he always seemed like that. So one of the cartel members, a female. It was 1 female, 2 guys. The female, she ends up getting captured by the FBI. So Elder Mother and the others, they return to the compound, and Elder Mother, she's like, you know, I've been shot, but that's not stopping me. And basically getting into Manny and the other soldiers' ass and telling Manny you need to go get the injured from out the woods and whatnot. So when Manny goes into the woods, he finds River and Joan. And River's begging Manny to help him get this bear trap off of Joan. And you know the type of nigga Manny is. I didn't think he was going to help, but he ends up helping River get the bear trap off of Joan. And then we cut away to Ruth, who ends up driving back to the compound. I guess because, I mean, I didn't even realize that the kids was driving back to the compound. So she went back. She goes back closer to the compound. But before she gets there, she runs into Lacey and Zane and tells them that she's going back to save her daughter. And she's like, you guys coming with me on that? And, of course, Lacey's like, fuck no. Like, we got this far. I'm, like, Team Lacey. Like, Lacey's the only one that got the right idea. Like, Lacey's like, I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no obligations. Like, but she goes back because Zane is like, well, we have to help Ruth. And I'm just like, why? She got y'all this far. I would have got the fuck on Ruth. I'm sorry. Like, I don't even understand that. Why would they even, like, I don't understand that. So Zane, you know, she's promising Lacey, you know, I promise you we gonna make it back out. And I'm just like, you can't be making promises like that you can't keep. So Manny ends up bringing River and Joan back to the compound. I was like, oh my God. Joan started waking up and was like, no, why were we doing back here? So Elder Mother comes over and she's like, the highest, he wants to speak to everyone. So like grab Joan, we taking her to the pavilion to hear the highest speak. So Ruth and Zane and Lacey, they come back to the compound, and Ruth pulls out 2 robes from out her trunk for Zane and Lacey to put on. Did anybody else notice when she pulled those 2 robes out of the trunk, did we see any type of money? Because I'm like, okay, did she hide it somewhere before coming back, or did she not realize that it's gone? I'm just so confused about the money situation. And isn't Lacey supposed to be wearing like a red robe or something like that for Abomination? But I guess that don't matter right now because they at war. I don't know. It's a lot of weird pieces that's not making sense. So Ruth, Lacey, and Zane, they walking back in the compound like nothing's wrong. I'm just like, Ruth, like, they know what you did. I'm thinking to myself, like, Ruth, they know what you did. They know you took all that money and tried to run and get your daughter. Why would you even come back into the danger zone? But no mind, the elder mother, she walks up to them. She asks them for help with her shot hand. And they telling her, well, we know we got to go prepare stuff for the highest. You know, we know he about to speak or whatever. And elder mother tells them about the cartel shooting up the compound. I'm trying to remember, did she actually say the cartel? I don't remember. But either way. So Ruth ends up leaving Zane and Lacey right there. And this is when Peter comes over and he's like, everyone is supposed to be in the pavilion. So take y'all ass to the pavilion now to hear the highest speak. So I'm just like, that's why y'all should have just left Ruth ass. Look what she just did. She brought y'all back in there and then she deserted on y'all ass. That's why I was like, Zane, what are you thinking? Zane and Lacey should have just got the fuck. So the highest, he begins to speak, and he's talking about the traitors are going to be punished, and the people that were loyal are going to be rewarded, yada, yada, yada. And then the highest and Daikon, they return to the highest trailer where Ruth is waiting there in some lingerie. And she's like, may I serve you, your highest? And Daikon's like, you can't trust this witch. Like, you can't believe her. Like, she took your money, and this, that, and the third. And the highest goes to check the safe. And, I mean, he doesn't come back upset. So, seemingly the money's back there. I mean, I don't did Ruth put the money back? It's just, I'm just so confused. Like, I don't know. Did she put the money back? I don't know. So, the highest seems to believe Ruth. And then the highest and Ruth and Daikon, they begin to have the sex, a little threesome or whatever. So, the next morning, they all laid up. Elder mother comes in and she's like, there's a man here. And he says the children are ready. So then the whole compound, they gather at the pavilion again. And the highest introduces Obadiah, who is like this guy who is seemingly trained. He has seemingly trained the kids to be like little warriors. They got this militant thing about them now. He done brainwashed them into believing the Raku and all that and all those type of things. And Ruth finally comes face to face with her daughter, who steps up and we're warriors of the Rakadushis. And that's how the episode ends. I feel like I'm gonna change my grade from a B- to a C+. Because now that I think about it, why did Lewis and Elder Mother's wounds heal so quickly? What's the deal with the money? Did Ruth put it back? Did she hide it somewhere? I mean, it's obviously in the safe, so I'm just those type of things confuse me. I don't understand it. So I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change that grade from a B- to a C+. So yeah. That's how episode 1 ends. Now we're gonna move into episode 2. Let me just write my timestamp. What are we doing here? We're gonna do 13. I'm gonna do 13:27. Okay. So now we're about to get into Tyler Perry's Ruthless Season 5, Episode 2. So if you haven't seen the second episode of Season 5 of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, turn this video off and go watch it and come back and watch the video. Of course, anything I say does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It's a simple and free way to support the channel. Again, Tyler Perry Season 5, Episode 2. If you have not seen it, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. Okay. So episode 2 begins with, the children are still there. Like I said in episode 1, Ruth comes face to face with her daughter who has been brainwashed as well, along with the other children. There's another woman who's sitting there. She seems like she's going to be a key character. I probably should have learned her name. I'll learn it sooner or later. She should pop back up. So this woman, she's pleading to talk to her daughter. And Obadiah, the guy that's in charge of the children now, he's telling her, you have no children. These are children of the Raku. And she's pleading to talk to her daughter, making a scene. The highest has Ruth take her away. So as Ruth's taking the woman away, she's telling the woman, look, I know this man done brung back our kids and got them brainwashed. But trust me, I'm going to find a way to get them away from him and get all this shit, this nonsense out of their heads. You just got to keep your head down and be quiet. This is what Ruth tells the woman. So as the highest speaks, Lacey is on the sidelines laughing. And I thought for sure the highest was going to hear it and be like, what's so funny, child, or something like that. But he seemingly doesn't hear it. It's unclear if he saw Lacey laughing or what the case may be. Because the highest always got this mean mug, like he's suspicious of shit, but then he just be sweet for everything. So it just be like, I don't know. So Obadiah, he this next scene, he catches Ruth watching the children. And he goes over and he's like, I read people and I know that you on a mission. And how would you feel? How would the highest feel if I told him you was over here looking for your daughter? And Ruth's like, I have no child. She really had no explanation for why she was over there. She just walks off on him. So Daikon comes in the highest trailer, and the highest is ranting on about George and Lewis, and the fact that the cartel is now at play. They coming looking for Lilo and the money and whatnot. He's like, Daikon, I need some of the magic, so prepare some of that magic for me. And I'm like, man, River should have been drugged this nigga and killed this nigga. So then we cut away to the police station. Aaron, he comes in there. He's furious, looking for his wife, looking for Laura. Desiree tells him that, in the line of the crossfire, a lot of people were killed because we didn't know if they was people trying to run away or if they was people that was trying to fight for the Rockadushi. And she tells Aaron that Laura was one of the people that got killed. We haven't seen Laura's body. We haven't seen Laura's body in these 3 episodes, so I don't know if she was lying to Aaron or with the case, or if Laura actually is dead. They haven't shown Laura's body, so I don't know how true it is that Laura is actually dead. Because I feel like she might have gotten away. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. So Aaron, he's livid. He's like, I hope you guys burn in hell. He says that to Desiree and Cal, and he storms out of the FBI. He storms out of the sheriff's. He storms out of the police station, whatever, the station. So then we get this scene, Daikon, he comes out of the highest trailer, he talking a whole bunch of shit. Anybody disobeys, they dead, da-da-da. Tells the soldiers to move. It's a lot of injured, dead bodies around the highest trailer. And he's telling them, we need to move these bodies. I don't need the highest coming out to see them and whatnot. So we get introduced to this new soldier. I never seen him before on the show. He's a new soldier named Samuel, and he's telling Daikon he can't help with the bodies because he can't stand the smell of blood. He looks super terrified and whatnot. So then Peter steps up out of nowhere. He's like, "Don't worry, I got you, Daikon." He tells Daikon that he did try to escape, but then he realized that he can't stay away from the Rockadushis. And then he tells Daikon that he shot a traitor. And Daikon's like, "So that was you." So I'm assuming the traitor he's talking about is the girl Bridget, the one Lewis was fucking. That's the only person I could think of. So Daikon tells Peter, you're forgiven. And then Manny comes and he's like, he tells Daikon, I'm ready to step up for the Raku and whatnot. I don't know what Manny's deal is neither. Like, he helped River and Joan even though he knew they was trying to escape. But I mean, maybe he using that to hold over their heads. I don't know. I don't know River's deal. I don't know Manny's deal yet. Because low-key, Manny was supposed to be in on the plan with Lewis and George, but I can't remember what happened with that. So then we get this conversation between Zane and River, and, Zane's telling River, Lacey has been acting weird. I can't find her. And then River tells Zane that he and Joan had to rely on Manny to get back in here. And he's pretty sure Manny's going to snitch and tell the highest that they tried to escape. But River's saying that he's hoping he can get into the highest good graces before Manny has a chance to snitch. So apparently Joan is in the infirmary, even though we saw her at the little highest speech, and she was fully aware and awake. That's why I just be like, what the fuck is going on? But now Zane's telling River that Joan is in the infirmary, and Elder Mother tried to pack her wounds with dirt. So now her wounds are infected. And she says, you know, Joan is going in and out of consciousness. So she's like, so I don't know how it's going to go with Joan. But she tells River, when Joan wakes up, I will let you know. And River tells Zane, if I see Lacey, I will let you know. So Ruth goes to the highest trailer where Peter, of course, is standing guard. And she's asking about the bodies that was outside of the highest trailer. Peter then tells her, you know, Daikon told us to move them so the highest wouldn't have to look at them. So Ruth asks to speak with the highest. Peter gives a little pushback, but then the highest comes out. And he tells Ruth, I just spoke with Obadiah, and he told me that he saw you over there by the children's playground. What were you doing over there? So Ruth, you know, quick on her feet, she's like, oh, I was just over there trying to find out how Obadiah got the kids so brainwashed. I wanted to see how he does it because the kids were so disruptive and he got them in line so quickly. I just wanted to know how he did it. So the highest was like, well, come with me. So the highest takes Ruth to the punishment trailer where George and Lewis are. And they're like, why the fuck are we handcuffed in here and she's not? And the highest is like, that's because I don't have to deprogram her. So they like deprogram. So he tells them that he gonna basically reprogram them to obey, just like Obadiah has done to children. So he changes some video that they was watching about the Raku and whatnot, and he starts playing this opera music, which is it's supposed to be some type of symbolic music about people dying and stuff. I don't really know what it is, but he's playing it in the punishment trailer, and he's also playing it throughout the compound. So then we cut away to the infirmary, and Elder Mother comes into the infirmary, and she's complaining about the music. Like, what is that music? And I'm like, bitch, if you knew it was the highest playing that shit, you wouldn't be saying all that. But Zane tells Elder Mother, you know, maybe you have what she say? She says, maybe you have a migraine, and, you know, loud music can I mean, that can make you sensitive to music and other things and whatnot. And she's like, how about you go take a rest? She tells her mother, how about you go get some rest? Other mother's like, you're going to let me know if anybody dies, right? So then we get to St. River. He comes and approaches Peter, tries to make some small talk and whatnot. You know, Peter ain't really trying to fuck with him. And then Daikon and Manny walk over. Peter tells them that River tried to force his way into the highest trailer. And Daikon excuses Peter. So Peter walks away, and then he's like, River, where were you when everything was going down, when the highest was taken and whatnot? So River tells Daikon that he was in the woods. He ran in the woods and he tried to help. But by the time he could figure out a way to help, everything was basically back to normal, he says. So Manny surprisingly backs up his story. He's telling the truth. I saw him with Joan, and he was trying to get her up to finish fighting and whatnot. So I'm like, like I said, I'm wondering what's his angle here? What is Manny's angle? I don't know. But you know, Daikon, he still don't buy it because he don't fuck with River. So back in the punishment trailer, Ruth, you know, she speaks of the injured people. And she's like, they shouldn't have to bear this music like the traitors. They shouldn't have to hear what the traitors, like, of course, George and Lewis should hear this because they're traitors. But the people that actually love you and obey you and whatnot, they shouldn't have to hear this. So the highest is like, well, take me to these injured people. Because she tells him, you know, Daikon had them move so you wouldn't have to see them. And he's like, well, take me to these injured people. So the highest and Ruth lead the punishment trailer. And Lewis and George like, I'm going to kill that bitch. Talking about Ruth. I'm like, not if y'all die first, goddammit. She played y'all ass more than once. So we cut away to the sheriff's station, whatever. Desiree and Cal, they go to try to interrogate the girl from the cartel who says her name is Keys. But they don't really get anywhere. She just basically talks shit. She doesn't really give them anything. So they leave out and they go back and forth about, excuse me. Cal and Desiree to go back and forth about what they should do with the cartel girl. Cal wants to just send her to get locked up because she killed one of the agents. Desiree wants to see if they can get something out of her to figure out why they was there in the first place. So they come to a conclusion that basically all this shit that didn't happen in the last 24 hours had to have had some type of effect on the highest. They say like he probably on edge right now, and he's probably vulnerable. So then Desiree suggests that she goes in alone to negotiate, and of course Cal ain't trying to hear that shit. He's like, every agent that done went in there is either dead or being held hostage. So Ruth, she takes the highest among the injured, and he talking about, why you bring me here? And she's like, cause you asked. But they get into this conversation, and Ruth asks the highest, like, does Obadiah love you? And the highest is like, it's complicated. So we can clearly see that this nigga Obadiah is just probably some prison friend of the highest. He probably don't even believe in the cult shit. He probably just a militant type of nigga that the highest felt like he could use right now. So a woman approaches the highest, and she's like, my sister was shot in the midst of all the chaos, and I saw online before I came here that you heal people, so would you please heal my sister? So Ruth tries to tell the woman off. She's like, the highest has so much going on, and the highest cuts her off, and he's like, you don't tell me, you don't get to choose who I have time for. And he turns to the woman, he tells the woman, take your sister to the pavilion, have some women set the altar up and whatnot, and prepare the altar. And he turns to Ruth and like, don't you ever talk to me. Don't you ever speak for me again or something like that. So I'm like, oh shit, this nigga about to really try to heal somebody. So Desiree and Cal, they pull up with their little team. They somewhere close to the compound, but out of sight. Desiree begins to walk alone to the compound gates. Cal makes this call asking for a favor as Desiree walks away. So I was like, I knew that was going to come back into play sooner than I thought, though. So the injured woman, she's brought to the pavilion, laid out on the altar. And Daikon's like, what the fuck is going on? So Ruth tells Daikon what's going on. This woman approached him to heal her sister because he was back there with the injured. I took him back there, whatnot. So Daikon's like, oh, well, this is your fault then. You gonna have to figure it's your problem. You gonna have to figure it out. If the highest can't heal this woman, he's gonna lose his shit, basically. So the highest, he's carried into the pavilion. So Ruth rushes over to the highest, and she's like, she whispers to him. She's like, this woman is already dead. They're trying to trick you. So the highest is like, oh, so you think I can't heal her? And then he kind of sort of pushes Ruth away, or she just backs up or something. And then the highest, he begins to speak of healing the woman. He begins his healing, and next thing you know, everybody starts hearing a helicopter. So the highest is like, well, that's a sign. It's time for us to meet the Raku. It's time for us to all die, basically. So as Desiree's walking to the compound alone, she walkies Cal to see what the fuck's going on. And he tells her, it was my call. I'm just trying to make sure that you safe. We're trying to ensure your safety. And she's like, you probably just got everybody killed, because the siren begins to go off in the compound. Zane and the woman that was crying about her daughter in the beginning of this episode, they're in the kitchen with Elder Mother preparing the drinks, the deadly drinks for everyone. And then in the pavilion, the drinks are beginning to be passed out. Ruth sees her daughter Callie with a cup to her mouth. And she's like, Callie. She's trying to whisper to Callie, like, don't drink. And Callie's like, my name is Ruby. So her daughter is completely brainwashed and ready to drink the damn shit. Doesn't listen. So that's how episode 2 ends. Episode 2, I would have to give it a C+ too. Episode 1 and episode 2, I would have to give them C+. Cause it's just like, how was Jones sitting at the damn when the highest was speaking of the traitors and the loyals being rewarded and whatnot? Joan was sitting right there, aware and coherent and everything. So I was just like, and now she in the infirmary and is unconscious. It was weird. It just be shit that don't be adding up for me. I want to know what Peter's motive is and what Manny's motive is. But for now, I'm gonna give episode 2. I'm gonna grade it a C plus. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a C plus. All right, we're gonna move on to episode 3. Let me just write my timestamp down. We're gonna do 30. We're gonna do 30, 40. How about that? 30, 40. Yeah, 30, 40. Okay, so now we're moving on to the final, well, not the final episode, but the final episode that they've aired, because they aired 3 episodes in one, but this is episode 3, season 5, episode 3. So if you haven't seen the 3rd episode of season 5, turn this video off, go watch it, come back and watch this video. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Please like and subscribe to my channel. It helps more than you know. I can't stress that enough. Episode 3... I'm gonna grade episode 3 a C minus. I kind of remember episode 3 because that was the last one I watched. It was the most recent one. Ain't too much happened on that one. So I'm gonna give it a... I mean, Ruth did her big one on this jump, but I still feel like a C minus is doable. So yeah. So Tyler Perry's Ruthless season 5 episode 3. If you have not seen it, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. Okay, so... in episode 3, it begins, of course, where we left off in episode 2. Everybody about to drink the poison. Ruth goes over and stops the highest from drinking the poison. And she tells him that his unborn child that she's carrying has a prophecy. And the prophecy is to not let the prophecy is for them to not join the Raku today. So, of course, the elder mother's calling bullshit. She's like, the highest knows all. You don't know what you're talking about, girl. So, the highest has Manny come over and aim his gun at Ruth and tells Ruth to sit down. So, Ruth sits, and then she begins to, like, fake have these belly cramps, belly pains or whatever. And she's like, your child won't be ignored. And the highest is like, well, what is my son seeing? So, the Ruth, she goes on to say... you know, he wants us, your son sees a prophecy. He wants us to fight the Raku. He sees you taking us to victory and whatnot. He wants us, not fight the Raku. He wants us to fight the evil government. He's like, he sees you taking us to victory and whatnot. She goes around, starts asking everybody, are they willing to fight? Everybody's chanting like, yeah, we're willing to fight. So she's like, your son sees all. He speaks of, the woman needs to learn how to fight in combat. And Daikon is against that, but the highest is like, I'll consider it. And then she speaks and says that, what did she say? Oh yeah, she said that elder mother should be relinquished of her kitchen duties and only focus on the wounded in the infirmary because we need them to heal so they can fight. So of course, elder mother's like, no, because she wants to cook for the highest and whatnot. But the highest is like, well, a higher calling has came upon you, so elder mother, you gonna do this, basically. So he tells the elder mother, you're relinquished of your kitchen duties. You only need to focus on the wounded in the infirmary. And then he gives Ruth the responsibility of running the kitchen. So I'm like, okay, Ruth. So the highest, he announces, we won't meet the Raku today. We're going to stay and fight. So everybody begins to disperse and whatnot. So then highest is like, well, Ruth, what else is my son saying? How am I supposed to do it? How are we supposed to defeat the evil government? And she get to, well, the son didn't say how he was going to do it. He just said, you're going to lead us to victory or something. And like I said, the highest always making this face like he's suspicious and shit, but then he falls for it like a gullible son of a bitch. So I'm just like, I don't be knowing how to read this nigga. Because he's looking at Ruth like he don't buy the shit, but... So then next thing you know, the press shows up and they asking questions about... They show up where the FBI's posted at. And they begin to ask questions about Laura. They tell them, Aaron sent us. Desiree doesn't really tell him anything. She basically tells him to fuck off. Then we go back to the kitchen. Elder Mother and Zane and the woman that was complaining about her daughter, you know, they all bringing the drinks back into the kitchen. And Elder Mother's like, you girls go on to the infirmary. I'll clean up here. So Zane and the woman, they leave the kitchen. And Elder Mother takes all the meds that she gives the highest for him to be calm and whatnot. She takes them all out the bottles. And she takes them away from the kitchen. She's like, let's see how long Ruth lasts without me or something. And I'm just like, oh, shit. She's sabotaging Ruth. I'm just like, that won't be good for you either, old lady. Without them drugs, he going to take his anger out on everybody. So River, he runs in the Ruth, and he clapping like the Oscar goes to Ruth. Basically giving her props on stopping the highest from killing everybody. Then he starts freaking out about them still being there. And Ruth's like telling him, you need to keep your shit together. And River's like, Daikon, he thinks that I tried to escape. I need your help. He asking Ruth for help. And Ruth's like, look, there ain't nothing I can do right now. It's already too risky after what I just did in the pavilion. So then we go to the infirmary where Elder Mother begins to tend to Joan. And then Zane's like, can I go to the bathroom? So then Daikon, he comes to check on the highest. And the highest, he's continuing to freak out about the FBI and the cartel. He's thinking Andrew might have snitched because they still got Andrew at the FBI with the FBI. Daikon tells him, the soldiers are out there and they're ready to fight. Everybody's ready to fight for you and whatnot. So the highest, he gets upset about the woman who is Sister Mary, who came to him asking him to heal her sister. So he's like, she made a fool of me. So he tells he tells Daikon to bring Sister Mary to him so he could kill her. So Zane, she finds Lacey in the trailer. And she's like, thank God I found you. I thought you ran back into the woods. And I'm like, how? When they was just right there, when the highest was about to heal that woman and they was about to all take the drinks to death or whatever, Lacey was sitting right there beside Zane in a bra, might I add. She didn't even have a robe on. So I'm just like, what do you mean you was looking all over for her? She was sitting right beside you right then and there. I don't know. So she tells Lacey, like, you need to snap out of whatever this is that you got going on. You're the only person here I can trust. I need you lucid. I need you sane. And Lacey's just laughing like she done lost it. She's like, we're all going to die. We're all going to meet the Raku. And that's fine. I mean, I get what Lacey's coming. Like, Lacey's like, oh, I'm back here and I have no way out. She feeling like death is the only solution, basically. I wouldn't be surprised if she drank the shit. I was starting to think maybe she drank the shit, not giving a fuck. Because Lacey feel like there's no other way out now at this point. So back in the highest trailer, Daikon, he suggests that they wait to kill Sister Mary. He's like, we shouldn't be killing people right now, especially with the predicament we got right now with the FBI sitting outside. So the highest is like, oh man, maybe you're right. So Daikon's like, well, how about I go get River so you can release some of this rage out on him, basically. I'm just like, that's fucked up. So the highest is like, yes, go retrieve River for me. Then he tells Daikon, you and Elder Mother, you need to check and see who is on which of the injured people are like can't come back. Like basically, is no healing for them. Whoever can't be healed beyond like whoever can't be healed, like basically kill them off. He's talking about something. I don't care how you gotta spin it. So he wants them to kill whoever basically can't be brought back. Whoever's injuries are the severest and can't be helped. So Ruth catches Zane coming out of the trailer, and Zane tells Ruth, I'm worried about Lacey, and she's like, you think it's anything in the kitchen that could help Lacey? And Ruth's like, well, I'll check. And then she tells Zane, I'm gonna have the highest appoint you to a princess of Obadiah, just so you could keep an eye on my daughter. And I'm just like, I don't think that's a good idea. Even Zane's like, what? Like, you trying to get me killed? And she's like, you know how to handle yourself. Yeah, Zane know how to handle herself, but I just don't see why it had to be Zane. Like, yeah, I know she can't trust a lot of people, but I don't know. I just didn't like how she... Even Zane's looking at her sideways like, oh, final words, basically. She said something like that. And I'm just like, yeah, why are you trying to get Zane to do that? So outside the gates, as Manny and another guard talk about the shootout, they suspect that the cartel was involved in the shootout as well. Daikon comes out there to get Manny. So Daikon, he goes into the men's trailer, finds River. You know, he tells them the highest wants you. He's like, I can't wait to hear about all the shit he's doing to you, or something like that, he says. So then Daikon, he gets a call from Desiree, the FBI Desiree. He ends the call as soon as she identifies herself. They go outside the trailer and she calls back and he answers. And River hears Daikon say the words FBI on the phone. And he smiles. So I'm thinking immediately he going to take this back to the highest and say Daikon's a traitor or a snitch or something. I don't know if the highest is going to buy that. He sees Daikon's loyalty too strong now. But, I mean, we shall see how River might try to spin that. Because he was smiling like he got something on Daikon now. So, yeah, so when Desiree calls back, you know, Daikon's like, I don't talk to the FBI. She's like, okay, well, what about that siren? Is everybody okay in there, inside? And Daikon ends the call again. So then Daikon and Manny, they go into the infirmary. They kick Zane and the other girl out. And Daikon starts asking Elder Mother which ones of these people is past the point of no return. Elder Mother starts pointing at people. Daikon and Manny start shooting them, taking them out. At one point, Daikon tries to shoot Joan, and Elder Mother's like, no. Ooh, excuse me. So Zane and the other woman, they outside the trailer. They hear the shots. The woman, she gets freaked out, and she starts running off. She's like, I gotta get out of here. Runs past Ruth. Ruth runs up to Zane and like, what's going on? And Zane's like, Manny and Daikon, they in there killing him. And that's how the episode ends. And I'm just like, that's crazy work, man. It's fucked up. I mean, but what do you expect from the Rockadushis? This episode, I'm gonna still give it a C- because why did Zane say she was looking on her way for Lacey when they were just at the pavilion together, about to drink the poison shit? And then I'm like, did Lacey drink the poison shit? Why did Elder Mother save Joan? Do she think Joan is gonna come regain conscience? Probably is, because she one of the key characters. But it's just not a lot of shit that's believable for me. Like I said, Lewis and Elder Mother got shot on episode 1, and now we don't even see their wounds anymore, so it's just kind of like weird. I don't know. The highest, of course, is losing his shit. But I'm gonna give it a C-. So yeah, episode 1, C+, episode 2, C+, episode 3, C-. Yeah, and that's how episode 3 ends. Yeah, thanks for watching all 3 reviews. I mean, not all 3 reviews, but thanks for watching all 3 of me talking about these episodes. If you did watch to the end. Comment below what you thought of episode 1, 2, 3, or 2 and 3, or 3 and 1, and all that stuff. Just comment below what you would grade them, what you thought of them, all that good stuff. Leave at the end. Leave in the comments. If I forgot anything, if I was off on anything, let me know in the comments, because I be forgetting. And yeah, like and subscribe to my channel. Help me get to over 300 subscribers, which isn't even a lot, but it will help support my channel. It's an easy and free way to support my channel by liking and subscribing. So again, comment below, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next review. Peace.